What? Listen, okay, because this time I got it right. Last time I didn't get it right. Gabe, I miss you. And that's just what it is. Welcome to another episode of One Billion. Talk in the camera, girl. Where are you looking at? Welcome to another episode of One Billion Brave. I'm your host, Domo Jones. How you doing, guys? Good? Like, are y'all straight? How y'all? Like, how's your day been? Okay, cool. So let's get into it. House rules. No profanity. We don't do that on this show. We use our vocabulary. Webster Dictionary, we on your head. You feel me? And that just is what it is. No bashing of race, religion, gender, politics, or sexual preferences. Why? Because, I mean, for what? Like, we are family. We are family. Like a giant tree. Y'all know. Branching out to the... Okay. Yeah. All y'all invited to the barbecue and tell them I sent you. Because who's going to check for me? Oh. Anybody going to check for me? Ciao. Not over here, not around here. This show is called 1 Billion Brave because it represents the 1 billion people of the world that have a disability and or medical condition. Old heads, you already know what's up. Newcomers, catch on quick, cause listen very closely what I'm about to say. Y'all ready for it? This is what you could hear. Get you one of us in your circle. Y'all can't see my hand because, girl, why are you so close to the camera? Get you one of us in your circle. Don't get you me, but get you one of us because I'm telling you, like, we're top tier. Like, you know, there's a tier and then there's a top tier. We're on top of that top tier. Like, that's how dope we are. That's how dope our community is. Duh. You're welcome. That's crazy. I'm trying to figure out why y'all didn't know that. Like, that's wild. Ask around. Ask about us. You know how people say, like, ask about me. Ask about our community. Like, all I'm saying is we ain't got to wait in line. We go to the top. To the top. Make it drop. Okay? Because y'all already know. Y'all know how we get down with the get down. Also, one of the most important rules is we talk about Jesus Christ on this show. I don't know what other shows do, and I don't know. It ain't my business. My business is 1 billion brain. And I 1 billion brain. Huh? We talk about Jesus Christ. That's my dog. So, all I'm saying, oh shoot, I forgot. Girl, stay focused real quick. That's all I'm saying. That's my dog, so he should be yours too. Last rule. Are y'all ready for it? This show is one of the very few and far in between shows that has a hostess with a disability that interviews guests with disabilities and or medical conditions. Lady O, girl, where you at? Girl, Tyler Perry, boy, come, boy, get over here. Let's talk. Boy, Lady Ever doing a. Now, a friend, where have what you been? Huh? We got stuff to talk about. Like, that's wild. Why don't we know each other by now? I've been saying the same Domo Jones for way too long. Okay, enough's enough. Let's get to it. The introduction has been introduced. It's time to get to the meat. Amen. All right. Lady O, I'm coming to the house. It's still a little hot. The sun's still shining. We can go in the garden real quick. Garden of Eden, huh? Chop it up with some fresh brewed iced tea. Come on. Come on. And then after I chop it up with you real quick, thank you. I'm probably gonna be a part of Oprah's favorite thing. You know, it is what it is. I'm blessed. That just is what it is. Then I'm gonna go across the street real quick. The Tyler Perry's. We can go to their stew. We can go to the house. One of the houses. We can go to the pilot center. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just send me the location because we have a few plays, a few storylines, a few books. I mean, you tell me. You tell me what is gonna be. Bars. You tell me what you want to see. Well, I'm gonna tell you, but you know, you go after that. You take my idea and then you just shoot it with the breeze. You feel me? Then after I chop it up with you, it's probably gonna be time to get my locks done real quick. So then I'ma hop on the trolley. Where did the trolley come from? Girl, why you got the trolley? I'ma hop in the car, then go 2 blocks over to Rockefeller. And then one time for the one time, me and Ever doing that, we about to get our lives done. Huh? Cause girl, we got something to talk about too. We got plays to write, we got movies, we got producing. The producer needs to be produced. Huh? The production needs to be produced. Why do you say that so strong? Girl, I'm just saying. I mean, we have a lot of things to discuss. I mean, we can start with baby steps. It don't matter. It's up to you. You feel me? I'm not I'm not that person to be real picky. We just gonna go with the flow. How about that? Because you know how I go. But girl, you are giving bars today. Rapper's delight. Okay? Rapper's delight. Yeah, I'm super grateful to be here, as y'all can tell. I just love the show and I love that I can just be me. Now here's the thing. Gabe ain't here. So I gotta do everything, and I totally forgot that the comments are y'all can see my finger, huh? Oh well, y'all just about to see my finger. The comments. I forgot about y'all. Child. Wait, let me catch up on these comments real quick. Hey mom. Hey girl. Child, listen, okay? Because grandma. Thank you, grandma, for watching. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it so much. Mom, because the hearts are breathing. What are the hearts doing? The hearts are breathing. Who's next? Kate Shaw. Dog Black. Love you. Here it goes. Let's all take a moment. Let's just all take a moment in, because he's here. I'm not sure what that means, but thanks. Thanks, PK, for coming. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We definitely appreciate it. I think we're not sure. Cause I love you. Oh snap. My sister. Kendra. I love you. Hi, Mom Charlie. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. Listen, okay. So, I appreciate everyone for tuning in so much. Thank y'all for being patient with me with this while we waiting for Gabe. For those that don't know, Gabe is my production guy, and he does all the behind the scenes stuff. So all the antics, all the streams and all of that, he does that. And he just got a promotion on his job, which I am very grateful for. I mean, come on now, you do your big one. Nevertheless, thus and so, for the month of August, for the month of August, he is training, which means I ain't gonna have him. Child, the stress. Whew. I said I can do it. We on week 2. We got 2 more weeks. And we got 2 more weeks, and we about to see. So all the stuff that comes with the Braveheart, nope, not in the month of August. The brave heart is about to be my next guest. Okay? And it just is what it is. All the extra stuff that Gabe be putting up, make sure you tune in. Nope, you're not about to get none of that. Just listen to what I'm saying, because we're not about this clicker. It typically goes on every like 10 minutes. Was about to stay on the whole time because I can't keep switching, and that's that. We got to make it simple. I got stuff to do. People to go. People places. All right. Amen. All right. So my next guest, I am super grateful that she decided to grace us with her presence. All the old heads know, and the new heads, y'all find out. I meet my guests about 5-10 minutes before the show, and this is another example. As we were talking behind the show, first of all, she's smart. Because what? I'm gonna have her tell you why she's smart, but this one right here, girl, what don't you do? What don't you have? Child. I'm really, really excited to hear her story. I'm excited to hear y'all hear her story. Does that make sense? Y'all hear for her. Y'all get it. Okay, anyway, it don't even matter because she's just about to come on. Becca! Oh, you guys remember that? From what's that movie called? What's that movie called? Becca! Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, we about to bring her on. Come on in, girl. What up, though?
Hi.
Wait, do you remember that? Do you remember? You probably don't.
I have one friend though who every time she talks to me, she goes Becca.
Okay, so she
Every
knows.
single time she talks to me. I still don't know what it's from, but
We're gonna have to, because it's from a movie.
she'll be
And
proud I
now,
mentioned it tonight.
yes. Where is that? I'm gonna figure it out. If somebody knows in the comments, then it's a singing movie. That's the hint. It's a singing movie. Somebody put it in the comments. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for gracing the stage. I definitely do appreciate it, and I cannot wait to hear your story. I cannot wait. All right. So let everyone know where you're from and the name of your disability medical condition.
Sure. So I'm from San Antonio, Texas, born in Moore, Oklahoma. I have pervasive developmental disorder, which now falls under the autism spectrum. I have speech apraxia, sensory processing disorder, auditory processing disorder, scoliosis, plantar fascia fibromatosis, Achilles tendonitis, and yeah, that's where we're going from there.
Okay. Listen, all of it. And we're about to break it all down. But before we break it all down, this is, thank you, Mo. It's Pitch Perfect. That's the name of it. So every time someone says, Becca, you know where it's from. Mo, you are
Now
right
I
on
know.
me. Boom. Thank you, Mo. All right. So we're going to start from the top because I forgot what the first thing that you said. So we're going to start from the very top, the very first diagnosis / medical condition that you said. Let's just start there. What's the
Okay.
first one? From head to toe. We're going to go from head to top.
Pervasive mental disorder and speech apraxia are the two that affect my brain.
Okay, so for those that don't know, can you explain what that is?
Sure. So both now fall under the autism spectrum. But when I was diagnosed, they were two separate diagnoses. Um, Pervasive mental disorder is the ability for your body to develop properly and on time compared to your peers. So I was nonverbal until the age of 5. Clearly most people talk before the age of 5. I only said 22 words by the age of 6. Again, most people are fully talking. They may not be reading, but they can at least talk to their peers. I communicated through 22 different words. And then speech apraxia, I struggled with speech. I still do. I struggle with eye contact. Just expressing language is a very, very difficult thing for me.
So is there like a delay in your speech?
Yes.
For like comprehension?
Yes. Yes. So Sometimes it's just the sounds that come out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's processing it from ear. So, like, you may tell me to do something, and then you may tell me to do something else within that same sentence. And so my like brain processes it late, which is part of that auditory processing. And then the speech apraxia, of course, affects my ability to communicate with you back. So it's just sometimes the stutter, or maybe, just other simple mistakes that I had as a kid. TH is an F. R's, I just didn't come out, so it sounded like a W.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, world sounded like wood
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
round. So,
So growing up, you said that you were mute until you were 5 years old, right?
yes.
So during that 5 year span, what was your communication like? What did you use? Did you use anything? Did you had to learn sign language at any point or anything like that?
Most of my communication was through screaming. I did have signs with the people close to me. I wouldn't say it was necessarily sign language, but I did have a way to. I knew some signs, more and things like that, but it wasn't necessarily um, like my main form of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Most of it was just, tapping, or I would try to say the words, or I would point, lots of pointing. Um, but I wasn't fluent in sign. Um, it was hard for me to pick up fluency at all. So
Mm-hmm.
most of my communication, the people who knew me knew what I was doing by the different type of scream, or by what I pointed at, what I looked at, how I was reacting, what my eyes looked like, what my hands were doing
Mm-hmm.
movement wise, things like that.
So how did you eventually develop more words and less screaming to try to get your point across as you got older?
So I did 3 years of preschool.
Okay.
So I started preschool at the age of 3, uh, just turning 3.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthday's a September birthday, so I was technically 2. And so, um, my mom, my first year in preschool, they were like, "There's no way, like, we're gonna have to, like, put her in homebound, like, she's just not,
Mm-hmm.
like, we can't deal with her." And my mom was like, "Give me till winter break. Like, just let me have till winter break." And so my behaviors changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She removed food coloring.
Ah,
Um, and so my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she had a lot of time to just follow me around and support me compared to a lot of other parents, and I'm lucky to have
right.
that. But the next 2 years, I went to 3 different preschools within 3 years. So, my first year was in different states. My first year was in Florida, and then my next 2 years were in Oklahoma. But my first year in Florida, where my dad was stationed, they just kind of gave up on me. They were like, "There's no way." They were super sweet. They just didn't know how to handle me. Like, they weren't
Yeah.
mean to me. They were just genuinely clueless. Like, we've
Mm-hmm.
never seen a case like this before. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was very like, she's harming the other kid. She doesn't know how to behave. She doesn't know. And it's like, it wasn't my mom's fault. It was just developmentally, I was so behind that they didn't know what to do or how to handle it.
Yeah.
My second year, um, they, I had a teacher that was just terrible, just awful person. But my student teacher ended up becoming my main teacher for that third year, and ended up replacing her job. So
Mm-hmm.
my other teacher, my second year teacher, left to a different job, and my still working with kids, scarily, but my third teacher and I still talk to this day. And she
Oh, that's good.
literally, I mean, I've literally, like, known her since I was 4 years old. And she still advocates, and she just fought for me constantly all the way up until, she couldn't no more, because I left Oklahoma and I left out of her hands, and she
Mm-hmm.
moved. Um, but she was a first year teacher, and she just I mean, she knew what she was doing with me, knew how to handle me, knew how to work around me, and I mean, I thank her and my mother because they were literally always making sure. I mean, if my mom wasn't journaling every movement with my body, she was.
Yeah, to kind of learn.
Mhm.
Oh, that makes sense. And so, like, once you started learning the words, um, did you like write them down, just so you can kind of like help you remember them, and then add on?
No, not that I remember. I think my oral language really developed before any of my other language did. Uh, I mean, I failed English most of the time unless I had my accommodations fully there. But
Mhm.
as they kind of started dropping my accommodations, and when I didn't have those accommodations, I kind of met grade level or I was behind, um, like on state testing and things. Um, but no, I kind of just picked up oral language. And what my mom likes to say is that once I picked up oral language, I mean, I literally went from 22 words to like thousands,
Wow.
and the span of like a year or so. And then like from that day, like I never stopped talking. Like um I mean, I'm a chatterbox, and I think that's why I love being on podcasts and why I've been on so many is because I can talk all day long if given the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But even when like once I hit first grade-ish, and that's when I
Uh-huh.
really started becoming fluent, with a very bad speech impediment, I I was constantly like, "Is it time for me to go to this? Is it time for me to go to this?" Like raising my hand to my teacher every 10 minutes, and she was like, "Okay, like
Yeah.
stop, like I'm trying to teach."
Right,
But
right, right. That's, I mean, coming from someone that, or coming from a place to where you were mute for so long, and then now you've developed all these words and the motor skills and all that. Yeah, I would be talking up a storm too, because I mean, that wasn't the case prior. So I get that. Okay, so now we're gonna step to to medical condition number two. Well, is that two or three? Three, two,
3, 4,
two,
I
three.
don't know.
Right,
They all blend together.
right, right, right.
Um, Honestly, I would say that I would connect these next ones because my bottom one led to what's wrong with my back.
Okay,
So, had I not had this, I wouldn't have this.
okay, okay. So it's a connect.
So, yeah, so I kind of have to like just like I had to connect the speech, I had to kind of connect these ones too.
Okay.
So, my freshman year of college, which was 2020, I during COVID, so every buddy, was very focused on things. I was interning for Congress, and don't worry, this does not take a political slide. That was just my job at the time. Um, and I was walking way too much because anybody who's interned for any political office, no matter what party, it requires a lot of walking, a lot of
Right.
door to door, and a lot of hours. No
Hmm.
matter who you vote for, you know that if
Right.
you've done anything in politics, because you have to get the candidate out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing, and I was in bad shoes as most, and I got injured. Uh, I got pushed down a few steps, and various amounts of things happened, and because of that, I went to a doctor, and they were kind of just like, "You have plantar fasciitis, like you're fine, like you're good, like just like put some like good shoes on and like literally live your life, like
Yeah.
fix what you're wearing, and then we'll talk about the rest later."
Right.
And of course, that was urgent care right next to my college campus, which of course is not the best form of
The
medical
best.
care. I probably should have gone to a hospital considering I couldn't stand up for more than 5 minutes. But,
Ooh.
17-year-old me was like, yeah, Um, and I didn't have a car. So the urgent care
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
the urgent care.
Right there. Right.
I went to, and I didn't drive. So it's not like I could go find a car either.
Yeah.
And my job was unpaid. So I was like living on, that $20 Uber was lunch.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying was my life.
So I went to my local urgent care, and they, told me, "You're good, go." And so I went, and I talked to my parents, and I was like, "There's no way that this is what this is. Like, this has to be worse." And they put me on steroids, which long term help with the pain, didn't help with other problems. And so I returned, because this was October. So I returned back for winter break early, like Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
because I had finished all my finals and everything. And it made no sense to stay all the way till winter break
Right.
for one more week. So I returned early, like mid-November, home. And my mom and dad, I was grateful to have their insurance, and they called my PCP, and we got all that set up. And my PCP was like, "How about you see a podiatrist? Like, how about you see a specialist for your foot?" And I went to another urgent care before I could get in that was more local to us. And I was like, "There's more severe issues going on," because I had to wait a bit for a PCP, but I wanted to just
Mm-hmm.
have a checkup for whatever they claimed it had been.
Right.
He was like, "I'll just load you more up on steroids." And so I was like, "Okay." And so I took my steroids, went on. And then when I got to my PCP, she was like, "Yeah, you're gonna see a podiatrist." So I set up with a podiatrist for December, early December.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at my feet, like grabbed, different parts of my foot and my leg. And he was like, "Yeah, so your like Achilles is like practically gone because the steroids have destroyed your Achilles tendons." And I'm
Oh.
like, "Oh, well, that would have been nice to know in like October." And then he goes, "Oh, also, you have plantar fascial fibromatosis, which is the more severe version of plantar fasciitis and doesn't go away." I was like, "Oh," and he was like, "So your arch is literally like the letter C. Oh, and that's caused both of your legs to be a completely different height."
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
did you perhaps ever break your legs? It's like, potentially, like, I was a soccer kid, like, I broke my toe a few times, and I
Yeah.
was a very, very rough soccer kid because I would go in there and break arms if it meant I won. That's the kid I was.
Hey,
Um,
it is what it is.
and hey, I don't wanna know how many arms I broke. From what I know, it's 0, and I'm gonna keep it that way. Um, but, I was like, perhaps, like, maybe I did, break my leg. So we have no idea if it was genuinely from the, giant fall I had, or if it was, the walking on bad shoes or the history of my health. I'm sure it was a mix of all three.
Right.
Um, but both my feet are like permanently like this. So I have medical inserts that I walk in that keep me afloat. Um,
Wow.
and like I'm medically required to wear sneakers, and like, they're a certain brand, they have to be New Balance, they have to be a certain type, like it's
Mm.
absolutely insane. Sometimes I can wear Nikes. um I think the most annoying part is that they squeak, so I sound like I just left rain puddles even in the middle of the summer. um but that later, actually more recently, I've been dealing with this ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to go to my so I see a podiatrist and I see an orthopedic. So they work hand in hand, right? Because the
Right.
orthopedic is the one who like makes the shape and stuff for my foot, and the podiatrist is the one who evaluates the foot for what the orthopedic needs to do.
Right.
So for 3 years I've been seeing both like consistently all the time, like once every 5 weeks. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so um the they were looking they told me when I was 17, they were like, you're you don't need the surgery, you're too young, there's no way you can get it, like we can't deal, like we have to just accommodate it until you're like
Right.
23 or something. And I was like,
Right.
"Okay." But they were like, "Your height difference of your legs is really not that severe." It's like, all right, like I'll take it. And they're like, and you're not fully done developing, so we can't like do anything. It's like, okay.
Okay.
And so they were like, wait till you're 21 and maybe we can look. I was like, all right. So, I turned 21 in September. So I went
Mhm.
back like, September, October, and I was like, figure me out, like, please. Um,
Right.
and then they were like, okay, we're gonna adjust your, orthopedics to do this and this, and then we're gonna like, do some x-rays, because you're now complaining about knee pain and back pain. And every time I lean over, like if I want to like put my hair down, like, like put it over my head,
Uh-huh.
anytime I sneeze, I get pins and needles in my whole entire foot, my whole legs, and my chest. And like my whole body like feels like it's going numb. Like, and so they were like, that's not like your foot. And I was
Right.
like, yeah, probably not. Um, but foot is where it happens first. So, and it happens where I get the pain and where I have the tumor. So I'd like to figure this out. And he come March, they call me back after the x-rays and everything, and they tell me to walk across this little like ramp, okay, without my shoes, with nothing on. And they go, yeah, your height difference is about 2 inches. Not 0.25, 2 inches. It's like, oh, so they're like, so we're gonna have to add a raise. Oh, by the way, you're too old now, so we can't do anything.
What?
So now I'm like, well, 4 years ago, you told me I was too young.
Young.
And then you told me, like, wait till I'm 21 and maybe we could figure. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, uh,
Interesting.
go forward and hope for the best. And then I met a chiropractor, a lovely chiropractor. Her name is Demi.
Mhm.
Um, and I called her up and I was like, girl, like, this is all the stuff that's wrong with me. Look at my x-rays, look at my life, like, figure it out. Because they didn't do x-rays on me until October of this past year.
What?
There could have been something wrong with me that I had no idea was
Right,
there
that you had no idea. Oh
for
my.
all those years. So, and they only did x-rays on my toes. Like, they didn't do x-rays on my knees. They didn't
Oh,
do
your
x-rays
leg
on
or
my wrist.
nothing.
And so this chiropractor was like, what are they doing? Like, whoa. And so my chiropractor was like, I'm going to do x-rays of your whole body. And I dead
Yeah.
mean she did x-rays from the root of my head all the way to the bottom of my toe.
Right. Right.
And my orthopedic doctor just kind of took his hand and did this to my back and was like, you're good. All right. And that was March. And so I went to this chiropractor in July. She goes, your spinal cord is shifted to the right. And she goes, and your neck is 53 degrees more forward than it should be. She goes, so you're like maybe a degree off from having like full blown scoliosis. And it's going to be about $3,000 for me to repair it. So right now, my goal is to eventually get $3,000 to repair that. But you wouldn't even know it, my neck, like,
Yeah.
um, I don't lean forward, nothing. Like, I stand straight, you would think, but I'm tilted.
Mm.
Like, I'm sideways. Like, if you see me barefoot, I like lean like a little to that
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
And what's weird is I've always done that. And everybody was like, why does she flop her foot like that? Because one of my bodies, and we always just assumed it was autism. Like, oh,
Oh, so is
it's
that some of
autism.
like is that like a symptom
Yes.
of having? Oh, okay.
And
Uh,
so we just assumed it was related to my childhood. Like, we didn't think it was anything to do with anything else. Because as a kid, when they tested me for scoliosis in school, like, there was not a single sign. Like, I was
right.
perfect. Um, and so that's how the toe connects to the ankle, connects to the leg, connects to the next step is neurology. Because my goal is hopefully neurology sees it and they're like, maybe we can fix it for free through your insurance
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than paying $3,000. I just started my full-time career though, as you know how young I am. So I'm like in the middle
Yeah,
of
because we're gonna
shifting
get into
insurance
that too.
companies. So I'm like, what covers this? What doesn't cover this? What
Right. No, yeah, because we're definitely gonna get into that, for sure, because that's crazy. Okay, so you just really said a lot, and I'm like, what in the what? What in the what in the what in the what? Okay, so the 2 inches, the 2 inches height difference, that came from them not checking, not doing the proper procedure when they saw the slight difference, because they seen a slight difference, but they said it wasn't that big of a deal.
Mhm.
So from then up until 2 inch, that's a long, that's a big.
The thing is, though, is technically nothing. Like my leg isn't shorter, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
my back is
It's
bent.
yes, yeah. It's the bent of the back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's making it okay. It's the lean.
Mm-hmm.
So for the chiropractor, for her her diagnosis or her prognosis is, if she fixes your back, then will everything else align?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'd be straight.
Oh my gosh.
My neck would be back in shape. I wouldn't get pins and needles all the time. I
So
mean, I'm
where
talking
did
like
the
when I
needle
go
come
to
from?
wash my hair in the shower, my whole
Yeah.
body's in pins and needles. Like that's not comfortable. No one wants to live like that.
And then that came, okay, so everything is connected. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
So that came from the steroids?
No, so the steroids cause the foot stuff.
Cause
My
the foot
Achilles
stuff.
tendons and my foot, the back, that backbone is short. So like you know how you guys like if you get a cold or an illness, you can like take a steroid like a virus,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
So when it comes down to like just regular like activity, when it comes, I mean when it comes like literally anything, do you have to be careful with standing for a long time? Do you have to be careful with like bending over lifting things? Is
Yeah.
that a trigger?
Yes.
Sheesh. Okay, another question, because this is so interesting. So did you ever have to go to physical therapy?
So funny story. Funny story.
Let's hear
I
it.
did.
I'm ready for it.
So I right after they diagnosed me with the plantar fascial fibromatosis, they said we are going to like we're going to get you PT and you're gonna have to go like 4 times a week. And I was like, I am a full-time college kid with 2 full-time jobs. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I
I don't
can't
have
do that.
time.
And so I was like, I'll do my best to make it once a week. And I really did. I really did just that.
Yeah.
And so, I went to my PT on like Tuesday at like 6 in the morning, like,
Hmm.
crack of dawn. And then with school, they were like, well, we don't offer it anytime after 5 o'clock and before 8 a.m. now. And weekends are unavailable. And I was like, what?
Well,
What am I
goodness.
supposed to do? So I had to quit going because what was I supposed to do? Like quit? Like not pay for school? Like drop
Yeah.
out? Like what? Um, and then I was like, solution, like find me like a physical therapist on like my college campus or like one
Right.
across the street or like, I mean, I'm right across this. I'm on military insurance because of my parents, and I'm right across the street from a military base. Like, I could have logistically made it to base and back in like
Right.
an hour and a half, like for
Right.
like it would have worked.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah.
well, your part of your insurance doesn't qualify for that. And that's not like within this distance of your home. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, okay, so y'all like need the money. Y'all don't care about my health. Got it. Like, period. Understood. So,
Just say that.
Literally. And so then this past, like once they finally checked my, body, they were like, I went to a like someone who focuses specifically on feet surgery. Like that's their job.
Yeah.
And she's the one who did the x-rays of me finally, because no one else
Mhm.
did. And she I actually asked her, I was like, I need to see neurology, I need to see like a chiropractor or someone. And she was like, you're so young, you don't need more labels. Like, why are you trying to do that
Yeah.
to yourself? And I was like, I want help. I was like, I don't care about
Right.
the labels. Like,
I know my
you
body.
them every time you go into the shower. I don't. Like that's like I just like I don't want to be able to go and tell someone I have this diagnosis. I was like, I just want a pill, man. Like that's all I
Yeah.
ask. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, or surgery. Like figure it out.
For
I'm
real, for real.
like, I wanna be as neurotypical as I possibly can, like, please. Um, I'm 21, that's the issue here, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I was 70, I probably wouldn't care so much.
Right.
But, like, I have to get my body through another 50 years if the lungs are still processing, right?
No, for real.
So so she was just kinda, totally out of it, and I was like, she was mean, like, she was just like, "You don't need another label," and, because they have your medical records, and I'm like, "I
Yeah.
girl," I was like, "I don't want another label, it's too much to talk about now, like, I'm on another I need water to drink with these labels
Right.
because this is been," right? Um, and so I kinda, just walked away and whatever, and, didn't get that help, but she was like, "I wanna put you in physical therapy," and I was like, "Perfect. Like, maybe we can figure this out. It's summer, I'm not working like crazy, like, I
Right.
have a job that's accommodating and, like, knows about everything, like, perfect."
Right. Right.
Speaking of legs going numb, my toes are numb right now, so I'm, like, moving, so I apologize.
It's okay.
So, um, you know, they were like, "Okay, we found you this PT place that's on weekends at, like, 7 to, like," it would be, like, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. every Saturday. I was like, "Perfect." Like,
Right.
"Great. Love it." And they were like, they even have a 5 to 6 a.m. option on weekdays, and I was like, "Perfect. Love it."
Right.
Right? Like, I was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
down. I was like, "Okay, I have to be at work by 6:50, so that's perfect." I get a call, and they're like, "Insurance denied it because you don't have any broken bones."
You have got to be kidding me.
I was like,
Huh?
"Okay, great, cool." So, yeah, I was in PT until I wasn't in PT.
So you wasn't you were qualified until you wasn't qualified. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Mm.
Wow.
And it's not like
Okay.
I have some cheap insurance either. I'm a military kid. We
I was
got we
just about
got
to say, no,
we got that
you
bougie
have
stuff.
top tier. Yeah, you have top tier insurance. Like, come on now. That's man. Okay, I definitely want to. That's I'm just what in the what in the what in the what. Whew. So after all of that, like I definitely want to get to the part of where you are now because you are 21 years old. And I just want you to tell the people, like, you're 21 years old, and you just gracefully mentioned that you're in two careers. But just can you tell us what are you about to graduate with? What are you about to graduate with
My
at
master's
21?
degree
At
in educational
21,
policy.
at 21, you're about to graduate with your master's degree in what?
Educational policy and leadership.
And how many grades did you skip?
2.
Good night. Cause what? And here's the thing. I think this is the dopest thing for me to know that because you just started off at the beginning of this conversation with literally mental and verbal limitations. You know what I'm saying? And to go from that to you skip 2 grades, you're 21, getting your master's degree, like girl. What in okay, and then so now we're gonna go a little even higher. What are your two careers?
So I'm a business owner, specifically a knitter and a poet.
Come on.
I have multiple publications. And then I'm also a special education teacher at an elementary school.
You're a special. This is wild. Because not only are you bettering yourself, but you're trying to help others that have limitations. Like, come on. That is so dope, bro. Like, I don't even think you probably don't. And I love how humble you are because you're just like, yeah, I just yeah. What? No, I would be selling to the world. Anybody, hey, how are you? Great. Guess what I do? I am a I wouldn't do that. But I just think like, man. So can you tell us what your poetry is about?
Sure. So uh
Okay.
okay. Um so um it really depends. I feel like I write all over the place with my topics. I am featured in books with other authors.
Come on, feature.
Anthologies is what they call them. So um my first publication was about my disability.
Yeah.
It's why people should have respect for me despite what I've battled, and people who also have the same things as me should earn respect as well, and should have that respect, and that respect shouldn't be taken away because of their disability.
Right.
Um, my second publication was about why I'm grateful to be alive.
And
Very
R. I'm talking about.
my third publications in the third book there was three publications, and in that book they just talk about um why I love life, what I've battled, and what I faced, um and honestly just like moving forward.
Yeah.
I didn't even get into it, but I was discriminated during my college experience, my middle school experience. Like I battled so much hate. And so like that's really what that's those three pieces dig into. They
Hmm.
like they're disability related, but they're kind of like fighting my demons, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Um my the fourth book I'm in, that one
Or goodness.
that one is that one has one publication, and that book is about why I should love myself and why we all love ourselves. And so
Yeah.
that piece is one of my favorites because at the end it ends with a very very funny line, um, and it has a cuss word, so I'll keep it off. But it has a very very funny line. I'm published through the Unsealed community, so all of my work can be found through them. Um, I do have a personal, like, kind of like biography type thing coming out in another book. And then I have about four more poetry publications coming out that are still on hold, and a children's book coming out in October. So they're
Goodness.
coming out. They're just not out yet.
God, I ain't doing nothing. I gotta figure my life out because, child, I love it. I love the motivation. I love the determination. I love the fact that you're comfortable with knowing who you are, but sharing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, about your journey because you're helping people. A lot of people are very afraid and timid, and they don't want to share what they've been through because they don't want to get those looks. They don't want to get talked about. Um, but coming from a person like you said, like you experienced discrimination, but you fought through it, and now you a doggone everything. Goodness, that is so that like golly. Okay, so you've done so much. Is there something that you want to get into? Some you want to be, some you want to, because you've done it. I feel like you've done it all.
I definitely want to eventually have a whole children's book series. My
Ooh.
children's book is about navigating autism in the school system, disability in the school system. Like imagine like stepping into a child with a disability shoes and living their life.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and I could talk about that story for probably a whole nother hour of like why I even wrote that. Um, but it wasn't just because of what happened to me. It was like,
yeah.
what I witnessed in field experience as, like tons of stuff.
Hmm.
Like there's like 30 different kids' lives like written into one character.
Yeah, yeah,
And then because I'm finishing my master's degree, I do want to go into the educational policy sector and lawmaking sector. I
oh,
don't know where that will be, but my background will be in special education law specifically,
yeah.
and human development as well. So a lot of the classes I've taken are very heavy on like looking at data and like psychology behind like the human brain and like how it
Hmm.
functions and like what policies we should make based on how the human brain functions. It's very, very
Right.
interesting. But my ed policies degree is specifically focused for government and nonprofit sectors. Um, I'm a board member for 3 nonprofits, so those are unpaid. So that's just me, volunteering. I'm a volunteer for a total of 11 nonprofits. All are focused around children, sex trafficking,
Wow.
education, violence in our schools, just various things. So,
Man, like you're doing it. I love it. I'm first. I love the fact that you're so passionate about not only who you are but who you represent. At such a young age, I just think it's super dope, and I'm super excited to see like what's next. Cause goodness, you checking off everything. Like I love that.
thank
Where
you.
can they find you? You're welcome. Where can they find you? Where can they follow you? Where can everybody see all your work?
Sure. So I have liked your post, so you can see me in the likes of the page if you guys need to find me quickly. But my Facebook is Becca Engle, Engle specifically. My Instagram is re02.20. My other Instagram is Rebe, Rebe, and then neuro, like neurodivergent, and poetic, like writing.
Come on, like
Um,
poetic.
and then I have crafts.rebe Instagram, which is my knitting page. Um,
And she knits class. Goodness.
and then I I mean I have a Facebook page too. That's just Rebby Crafts, so it's my Instagram but backwards. But yeah, those are my pages. You can find me there. I do have a LinkedIn as well. It's under Rebecca Engle. I'll be on a podcast on there as well, so y'all will see some stuff.
That's super dope. I'm excited for your journey. Thank you again so much for gracing the stage. I do appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. Like, man, you're a motivator. Like, for real, for real. You have motivated me to do something more than what I'm doing. Cause, girl, goodness, your ambition is beyond everyone. That is a thank you, mom. Cause goodness, child, everybody needs to step their game up. And you have a disability or disabilities, comma, girl, we need to get our life together. Point I get a period. Thank you again so much for gracing the stage. I definitely do appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate you sharing your journey. Um, thank you, and I'm super excited to see like what else you doing with your life. Like I'm super excited, super
Thank
excited.
you.
You're definitely welcome. I'm gonna put you in the back. We about to end the show, and then we about to be in there like swimwear.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, because girl. I mean, all y'all not girls on here, but goodness, child, what am I doing? Girl, you ain't doing nothing. Get your life together. Danielle, Danielle, I'm saying, because I'm not doing nothing. You over here lollygagging. Over here just sitting down. Child, when I say Becca is amazing, I mean, Becca, she is amazing. Like, I am super grateful that I was able to interview her, and also hear her journey, hear her story, because man, that is goodness. I love it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you for just seeing what we're talking about. I definitely appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. Real quick, church announcements. All right, next Tuesday, y'all know, we live and in living color, 7 p.m. Pacific. Lord, let me get this right, because typically Gabe will put it on the screen to help me, but he ain't here. So bring it back to my remembrance. Bring it back, Father. 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. See, already that fast. Goodness. 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Holy Ghost, for guiding me through that. We live and in living color. As y'all can see, my guests are super dope. So it is what it is. Is all I'm saying. It is what it is. Next Tuesday we live. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, if you have a disability and or medical condition, and you want to be a guest on the show, holla at me. Here is the requirement. Don't come over here with your big toe hurting, or you done scraped your elbow. Oh well. Put some lotion on that thing and go on about your business. We need some real deal Holyfield disabilities medical. We love hearing the story. We want to see. We want to see, hear, feel. You feel me? You get it? See, hear, feel. That's it. That's all. So, or if you know someone that has a disability and medical condition. And let me say this real quick. Thank you to everyone that has sent me requests of people that to interview potential guests. I so appreciate it. Man, I really do. Because y'all think about me. Like, y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to at all. So I appreciate everyone that sends me guests, sends me potential guests, and sends me anything that requires me learning about, what I do. Because I love my craft, and I always want to perfect it and get it better. And I love it. So thank y'all. All right, we out. We about to figure this end thing out real quick though, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Kind of really not. Oh, see, my finger already in the way. Okay, we about to figure it out. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna end the show. I love y'all, but don't log off. Okay? All right, we out. I love y'all. Period. And y'all better love me too. Alright. Gabe, get me out of here. Y'all already know what to do. Until next time. Love you.